this is a good point to start with telehealth because that's where a lot of GLP-1 prescribing is happening. So, Elva, can you take us through some of the issues that you're seeing around telehealth?
I think one of the things that GLP-1 medication, at one point, I believe in one of our episodes, we talked about how it came about and how it's being used for different reasons than why it was originally researched and manufactured for. And one of the biggest reasons that is being used right now is weight loss. What do people want when they want weight loss? They want it quick, they want it accessible, they want it today. That brought on the ability to deliver this medication or prescribe it via telehealth. Nothing wrong with that from a compliance standpoint if it's done right. The problem is that there are entirely too many companies doing it, and we're not really sure if they're each really abiding by the regulatory guidelines that are set in service delivery via synchronous and asynchronous visits. So telehealth can happen in two different ways. It can be synchronous or asynchronous. When it became very fashionable to be able to order these medications online, most of the companies were doing synchronous, meaning you truly had to fill out your profile, submit insurance, submit pictures of yourself, health
Your
history,
medical
just a
history,
variety.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just a variety of things. And then you would really set up an appointment with a live provider licensed in your state, have the meeting, and like a true telehealth visit and receive, if approved, the medication. However, where it has gotten right now is there are a lot of companies who are opting for the asynchronous version of it, which means the person fills out the intake form that goes to a provider either approves 99% of 9 point of time they do approve. They approve, they
Okay.
prescribe the medication. There really is no discussion of why are you wanting to be on this medication? How is it going to affect you? Just normal conversation that's supposed to happen between a patient and a provider is really not happening. And that's really concerning because one of the reasons why telehealth has been great since 2020, since COVID, is that the ability to reach providers who are not in your area, right?
Uh-huh.
Or well, right now, when companies use the asynchronous model, they don't know who they're serving, and you certainly don't know who's serving you as a provider.
So is that a problem? I mean, what's going on here? I'm a patient. I want my meds. I want my GLP-1.
I'm on meds too, my friend. It's just not the one. Just I want a heavier dose of other things. But is that a problem? No. Much like everything else in healthcare, when things work out the way that it's laid out in black and white regulation, it is not a problem. It is a problem when two ends of the receiver and the giver are, again, the provider really does not know if they're providing services to somebody who is 18 or 16
Mhm.
or 86. Same thing for me as the patient. I don't know. I have to believe that the person who's prescribing the medication is a licensed provider. How many times do we feel that a patient who's going online to receive these medications go to their state, regulatory board website to do a license search?
I'd say none.
I'd say none too. So now we have a problem. Now we don't know who's prescribing what, who's prescribing to whom. And there comes the third issue, what? Because I do not have a synchronous visit with a provider and provider doesn't see who I am, and it goes to a third party pharmacy, which you guys will talk about that. I have no idea if that pharmacy is authorized to produce what they're going to send to my house now. So those are the problems with
Mhm.
telehealth. When everything works out great, fantastic. But I don't think we would have a podcast if everything worked out the way it should.